Life is not waiting for you to be ready. It is not paused until you feel confident, healed, successful, or certain. Life is happening right now while you hesitate, while you overthink, while you tell yourself someday. Every second you spend waiting for the perfect moment is a second that never comes back. The truth most people avoid is simple and uncomfortable. There is no future life coming to save you. This moment is not a rehearsal. This is the main event. Most people live as if life begins later. Later when they have more money. Later when they lose the weight. Later when the fear goes away. Later when everything makes sense. But later is a lie the mind tells to avoid discomfort. Meanwhile, days pass. Years disappear. And one day, people wake up older, wondering how time moves so fast and why they feel like they were never fully present for their own life. The tragedy is not that life is short. The tragedy is that we waste so much of it waiting for permission, waiting for approval, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for the right conditions. But life does not reward waiting. It rewards participation. It rewards those who show up imperfectly, who take action while afraid, who choose to live now instead of someday. You are not behind, you are not late, but you are here. And here's the only place life can happen. We are taught to postpone joy. Work now, live later. Suffer now, enjoy later. Sacrifice now, rest later. But somewhere along the way, later becomes a moving target. The finish line keeps shifting, and before you realize it, you've spent your best years preparing for a life you never actually lived. Yes, responsibility matters. Discipline matters, but so does aliveness. So does presence. So does meaning. A life that is all preparation and no living is not discipline. It's fear dressed up as productivity. You don't need to earn the right to feel alive. You don't need permission to enjoy being here. You don't need to finish becoming someone before you start living as yourself. Life is not something you arrive at. It's something you participate in. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that we'll live fully once we're fixed, once the anxiety goes away, once the trauma heals, once the insecurity disappears. But growth doesn't happen before life. It happens inside life. You don't become confident and then take action. You take action, and confidence is built in the process. You don't wait for clarity to move. Movement creates clarity. Waiting to be ready is how dreams quietly die. Every meaningful thing you want, love, purpose, fulfillment, strength, requires stepping into uncertainty. And the cost of avoiding uncertainty is far greater than the cost of facing it. Because avoidance doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you stuck. Life isn't asking you to be fearless. It's asking you to be honest. Honest about what you want. Honest about what you're avoiding. Honest about how much time you've already spent waiting. Look at your life right now. Not the version you imagine someday, but the one you're actually living. This is the raw material. This is the starting point. This is the only place change can happen. If you keep rejecting the present moment, you reject the only place where growth is possible. You don't need a new life to live fully. You need a new relationship with the life you already have. Living fully doesn't mean everything feels good. It means everything feels real. It means you stop numbing yourself to avoid pain, and in the process, stop numbing yourself to joy. It means you allow the full range of human experience instead of living in emotional autopilot. Pain doesn't mean you're doing life wrong. It means you're alive. Most people are not exhausted because they do too much. They are exhausted because they live disconnected from meaning. They wake up, scroll, rush, work, consume, sleep, and repeat without ever asking why. Days blur together, weeks disappear. Life becomes something to get through instead of something to experience. Presence is not passive. Presence is powerful. When you are present, you reclaim your time, you reclaim your attention, you reclaim your agency. You stop living as a spectator to your own existence. Life is not happening on your phone. It's happening in your breath, in your body, in the room you're sitting in the conversations you avoid, in the choices you delay. You don't need to change everything to live fully. You need to stop postponing what matters. Every single day, say the thing you keep rehearsing in your head. Start the thing you keep planning. Leave what is slowly draining you. Choose honesty over comfort. Choose courage over familiarity. Choose now over someday. A fully lived life is not a perfect life. It is a life where you stop running from yourself. Time is the one resource you never get more of, yet it's the one we treat as unlimited. We kill time, waste time, distract ourselves from time until time reminds us, through aging, loss, regret, that it was never guaranteed. One day, this moment will be something you wish you could revisit. The energy you have now, the opportunities you have now, the people who are still here now, the body you live in now. You don't need to be grateful in some forced, motivational way, but you do need to be awake. Awareness changes everything. Living fully means taking responsibility, not just for your future, but for your present. Not blaming your past, not outsourcing your happiness, not waiting for circumstances to change before you allow yourself to engage with life. You are not powerless, but you will feel powerless if you refuse to choose. Every day, you are choosing something, either intentionally or by default. You are choosing growth or stagnation, courage or avoidance, presence or distraction. Life doesn't punish you for wrong choices. It simply reflects the choices you repeat. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You need consistent aliveness. Wake up and ask, how can I show up today? Not perfectly, not heroically, just honestly. Live today like it matters, because it does. Speak today like it counts, because it does. Act today like it's real, because it is. Life is not waiting on the other side of fear. Life is on the other side of avoidance. And the moment you stop waiting, the moment you stop postponing, the moment you decide to live now, that's the moment your life actually begins. Most people think living fully means chasing happiness. But happiness is not something you hunt down and capture. Happiness is a byproduct of engagement. It comes when you are involved in your life instead of standing at a distance, analyzing it, criticizing it, or waiting for it to improve. A life lived fully is not always joyful, but it is always honest. And honesty is far more sustaining than forced positivity. The problem is that honesty requires courage. It requires you to admit when you're numb, when you're bored, when you're settling, when you're afraid. Many people avoid living fully because they are afraid of what they might feel if they slow down enough to notice their own life. Distraction becomes a shield. Noise becomes protection. Busyness becomes an excuse. But the cost of avoiding discomfort is that you also avoid depth. You cannot selectively numb emotions. When you numb pain, you numb joy too. Living fully means allowing yourself to feel without immediately trying to escape the feeling. It means sitting with uncertainty instead of rushing to fill it with answers. It means letting moments land instead of rushing through them. This is difficult in a world that trains you to move fast, scroll endlessly, and never sit in silence. But silence is where clarity lives. Silence is where you remember who you are beneath all the roles you play. You don't need to quit your job, move to a new city, or reinvent yourself to live fully. You need to be present where you are while being honest about where you're going. Escapism is not the same as growth. Sometimes the most powerful change is not a dramatic leap, but a deep commitment to showing up right where you stand. There's a quiet kind of bravery in choosing to live now. It's not flashy. It doesn't get applause. It looks like making time for what matters when no one is watching. It looks like saying no to things that drain you even when they look good on the surface. It looks like choosing alignment over approval. Many people build lives that look impressive but feel empty. They hit milestones but feel disconnected. They achieve goals and still feel restless. That's not because they failed. It's because achievement without presence feels hollow. Success without meaning doesn't satisfy the soul. Living fully means asking not just, am I progressing, but am I alive in this? You were not meant to merely function. You were meant to experience, to feel challenged, to feel connected, to feel stretched and moved and sometimes uncomfortable. Comfort is not the enemy, but living only for comfort slowly erodes your sense of self. Growth requires friction. Meaning requires effort. Fulfillment requires engagement. Life becomes smaller when you try to keep it safe. One of the hardest truths to accept is that no one is coming to rescue you from an unlived life. No perfect opportunity, no sudden breakthrough, no magical moment. when everything finally clicks. There is only choice, repeated daily. Small decisions, subtle shifts, honest moments, courage practiced quietly. You don't wake up one day living fully. You build it moment by choosing presence over avoidance. Fear will always give you reasons to wait. It will sound logical, responsible, reasonable. Fear is patient. It doesn't rush you. It convinces you to postpone. And postponement feels harmless until you realize how long you've been doing it. The danger is not failure. The danger is a life half-lived because you were waiting to feel ready. You will never feel fully ready. And that's not a flaw. It's a feature of being human. Readiness is not a requirement for action. Living fully also means accepting that not every day will feel meaningful. Some days will be dull. Some days will feel heavy. Some days will feel directionless. But even those days count. Even those days are part of the story. You don't need every moment to be extraordinary for your life to be extraordinary. What matters is that you are present for it. There is a deep difference between existing and engaging. Existing is passive. Engaging is intentional. Existing lets life happen to you. Engaging meets life halfway. It asks, how can I participate in this moment instead of escaping it? Engagement doesn't mean control. It means attention. Pay attention to what drains you. Pay attention to what energizes you. Pay attention to what you keep avoiding. Your avoidance is often pointing directly at what matters most. Living fully also means letting go of the version of yourself that was built purely to survive. The coping mechanisms, the emotional armor, that's power. The habits that once protected you but now limit you. Survival mode is useful, but it's not where life is meant to be lived. At some point, safety must give way to expression. You are allowed to outgrow the person you had to be. Many people confuse living fully with living loudly, but fullness doesn't require constant excitement. Some of the richest moments are quiet. A deep conversation, a long walk, a moment of clarity, a choice that aligns with your values even when it's uncomfortable. A meaningful life is not measured by how much you do, but by how deeply you do it. Ask yourself this honestly. If nothing changed externally for the next year, how differently would you need to show up internally to feel alive? The answer is not about circumstances. It's about courage. You don't need to wait for permission to live with intention. You don't need validation to choose meaning. You don't need certainty to take the next step. Life is happening now, whether you're paying attention or not. And one day, this now will be gone. Not in a dramatic way, not with a warning, just quietly replaced by another moment you may or may not notice. The question is not whether time will pass. The question is whether you will be present for it. Living fully is not about squeezing every drop out of life. It's about not letting your life slip by unnoticed. When you stop waiting for the perfect moment, when you stop postponing joy, when you stop treating life like something that starts later, you realize something powerful. You were never missing your life. You were just not fully in it. Life has a way of moving faster than we realize, and the moments we let slip by quietly build into years we can never reclaim. Every day, every hour, every breath is part of a chain, and the only way to feel fully alive is to engage in each link of that chain with awareness and intention. Waiting for the perfect time, the perfect mood, or the perfect set of circumstances is like sitting on a train track hoping the train will stop before it arrives. You are still in its path, still subject to its passage, still allowing life to move without you. The truth is that no moment will ever be perfect. No conditions will ever be flawless. The most courageous, most alive people are not those who wait for ideal conditions. They're the ones who rise in spite of imperfection, who push forward when fear whispers, who choose action over hesitation. They understand that the fullness of life is not in the guarantee of success or the absence of struggle, but in the raw, unfiltered experience of showing up, of being present, of daring to live without apology. To live fully means embracing both the pain and the beauty of existence. It means understanding that discomfort is not a signal to retreat, but a compass pointing toward growth. When you sit with your struggles instead of running from them, when you acknowledge your fears instead of masking them with distractions, when you allow yourself to feel deeply instead of numbing, you start to experience life at a level most people never reach. You see, life is not designed to be controlled. It is designed to be lived. The storms, the unexpected failures, the heartbreaks, and the setbacks are not punishments. They are lessons, invitations to deepen your understanding of yourself and your place in the world. Avoiding them does not protect you. It diminishes your capacity to experience the fullness of being. True living requires vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to step into the unknown with nothing but your own resilience as a guide. Every day that you postpone living fully is a day you unknowingly reinforce a pattern of fear and avoidance. The habits that keep you safe also keep you small. You think you are protecting yourself from disappointment, rejection, or failure, but what you are really doing is protecting yourself from life itself. The paradox is clear. The only way to feel safe is to engage fully, because life is only as terrifying as your distance from it. Every risk you avoid, every conversation you avoid, every action you delay compounds over time, creating invisible chains that weigh on your potential. And when you finally recognize the cost, the years may feel heavy, the opportunities missed, and the regret unavoidable. Yet the beauty of awareness is that it allows you to break the cycle at any moment. Awareness is your key to freedom, presence, and the possibility of a life lived intentionally, passionately, and unapologetically. Living fully is not about being constantly happy or productive. It is about presence, honesty, and engagement. It is about waking up each day and asking, how can I show up in a way that is authentic to who I am right now? This question is not answered once and for all. It is answered moment by moment, breath by breath, choice by choice. There will be days when your answer is small, a quiet act of kindness, a pause to appreciate the sun, a decision to face something you have been avoiding. And there will be days when your answer is monumental, a leap into a new career, a confession of love, a commitment to change your life's trajectory. Both are valid. Both are powerful. Both are living fully. The key is not the magnitude of the act, but the presence of your intentionality. Too often we conflate living fully with living loudly, with outward success, with recognition, or with adventure. But living fully is inward first. It begins in the mind and heart. It begins in the awareness that each moment is fleeting and that the quality of your life is determined not by external validation, but by the depth of your engagement with the present. The most fulfilled people are not the ones who have done the most. They are the ones who have experienced the most consciously, who have given their attention fully to the tasks, the people, and the moments in front of them. Attention is the currency of life, and where you place it determines what your life becomes. Every distraction, every avoidance, every moment spent detached is a moment spent living someone else's life or no life at all. There is a profound liberation in realizing that life does not require your perfection, your readiness, or your complete certainty. Life requires your presence. Life requires your courage to act in spite of fear, to speak in spite of doubt, to love in spite of pain, and to move in spite of uncertainty. When you embrace this truth, the weight of not being ready lifts and a vast horizon of possibility opens. You begin to understand that there is no ultimate preparation, no flawless alignment, no perfect moment waiting to arrive. There is only now, and it is sufficient. You are sufficient. Your life is sufficient in this very moment to begin again, to begin fully, to begin intentionally.